Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Once again, you can see the hood is lifted, and actually I want to show you the mess that I did last night. I have said more than enough times that I just want to get this car back up and running to be drivable as a everyday car for a while, at least before the proper work on this project begins. But she surprised me once again because she wasn't idle. Actually, she was dying, and the engine will simply die when the throttle pedal is released and when she gets under certain RPMs. I had to constantly play with the throttle to keep this thing running, and it was just a nightmare. And actually I haven't drove this at all. I'm just doing what I can do over here, and she works perfectly fine, and she idles very well. She has all the revs, and when I try to take the car out of here and drive it even for a mile or a kilometer or anything, any distance at all, the smallest distance actually, she begins to die, and the engine dies and she cuts off. Once I remove my foot from the throttle pedal, everything begins to fall apart. So I took the liberty of dismounting this motor, which is for the idle, and replaced it. And I haven't even tried the car yet because there was this thing that was on my mind, that this car is not working properly. And even though I replaced this distributor, I actually had the same results. So I took everything off here because I had some stuff in my way which were messing up with me, and I couldn't see the big picture, whole picture actually, which is, once I removed that thing that was in my way and I pressed this when the engine is turned off. Let me grab the light. I'm gonna try to show you this. One moment. I'm gonna try to fix this like this, and probably this is gonna be... No, you won't be able to see it, unfortunately. It is difficult for me to see it as well, but you can see the plate. At least you can see the plate behind there, how dirty it is, and it is actually kind of wet. And what happens is, what I was able to figure out is that when the engine is turned off and I press this plate like this, she presses the plunger on the distributor, the fuel distributor, and the fuel starts pouring inside of this membrane, and it is actually dripping very massively, and that means that there is a fuel leak surrounding the plunger, which is not supposed to be happening. So I made a little bit of a mess. I want to show you what I did. And this is actually one of the distributors. I took it off the car and installed the original distributor of the car, because accordingly to my tests, this was the better one from the other Mercedes that is over there. But this one has a leak. I installed the old one, that one also had a leak. So without any research or without anything, I just grabbed the tools and start disassembling this thing. And what I have found, it is more than disturbing, which is, this is the plunger. I'm going to try to show you. Probably you will be able to see, I don't know where it was. Yes, you can see the scratch marks probably over here on the top and somewhere over here. Let me try to find the proper light for this thing. You can see the wear over here probably. That spot that is with different color. I don't know how to focus this. There is this spot over here, and on top you can see the same thing in the top part. So this thing is so precise. From what I have researched just now, I understood that this thing has to be so precise that thousandth of the millimeter is gonna set this off, and gonna set it off by a lot, which in my case results in leak of fuel inside of the membrane, inside of that other essential piece of this Jetronic system. And I was hoping that I'm gonna be able to just, let me show you, this is the housing of the plunger, and I was hoping that by replacing some rubber seals or anything I'm gonna be able to fix this thing, but unfortunately the plunger goes into this metal housing just like this, and on the bottom there is only this metal piece that actually plunger goes through here, and this is all. So if there is a leak from the middle of the plunger, there is nothing to prevent it. That means that the wear of the plunger itself is the one thing that I cannot deal with, so it is kind of frustrating. And I was thinking I found a replacement kit to service this thing after I disassembled it, but at the moment I'm kind of disappointed, and I don't think I'm gonna be dealing with this because, as I said in one of, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this footage because I was kind of frustrated, and it was something that is very rarely happening to me. This weird combination, I was tired and frustrated by this Mercedes, so I made this kind of weird video, and honestly I don't know if I'm gonna upload this thing, but basically in that video I came to the conclusion that this system is actually faulty by default from the very beginning when this was implemented. Even the new systems were kind of unprecise, and the principle that this thing works is imperfect by default, because this system actually continuously supply the engine with fuel without stopping. Once the fuel pump starts to work, this system is actually constantly supplying fuel on top of the valves non-stop. It doesn't matter the position of the valve or the piston. If the valve is closed or open, there is constantly fuel being inserted in this engine. So you saw the spark plugs. I can actually grab one and show you how black they are because of this thing. I was kind of curious what is going on. You can see how much fuel is in the system. I don't say that my system is working properly at the moment, but I made a small research after my frustration and after the fact that I wasn't able to find the proper solution to this thing. There is something always bothering me about this system, so my research led me to believe that lots of people are having the same problems, having the same experiences as me. The car will run okay, she will idle okay, and in the next moment she will start doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and after a while she will work normal again. And this is even when the system is in very good condition, which in my case is impossible because the car is very old already. So the problem with this system by the very beginning is that one of the main problems actually is that this thing is metal contacting with metal, and when they are contacting there is gonna be a wear of these surfaces, because the petrol, it has very limited lubrication capabilities, and after so many years this is just pretty normal stuff for this type of system. I'm not gonna waste any more time getting inside of all the things that are wrong with this thing, because it is gonna be very long and pointless video at this point. The only thing I wanna say is that my humble opinion, it is that these systems are faulty by the moment they were introduced, and nothing will change that. And since I decided to buy one of these cars, I wanted to remove this thing and install modern system with turbine and intercooler and upgrade the engine, but I was just kind of hoping to make this thing work at least for a while. But anyhow, the strangest of all things, according to me, it is how this car was manufactured with this engine. This type of engine was across the whole series of cars that were used by Mercedes at the time, and there were some BMWs, some Volkswagens and other cars that used this type of system, but this is not the point. The important thing is that Mercedes used this system till 1992 or 1993, I think. It was the year when they introduced the E-Class W124, which has the new engine with the new injection system, and this is 1993, guys. Let me show you. This is Opel. I have it over here. This is Opel Record. It is the model, and this car is manufactured from 1979 till 1986, and this car was stopped from production when the Mercedes over there was released. So how in the world it is possible Opel or Vauxhall, or I don't know how this brand is called wherever you are, to introduce electronic injection system? You can see the sensors, and you can see over here the electronic injectors. They are electronically operated, and this car works as she would 30-40 years ago. I don't know the actual year of manufacture on this particular car, but how is this even possible? Why would they implement this and make the car run so much better, while nearly 10 years after that Mercedes were still using that faulty system? I don't know, but I just was kind of frustrated, and I wanted to share my thoughts with you. For those of you who had the same headache with this system as me. Anyway, I'm gonna persist a bit more, and I'm gonna assemble this back together. Probably I'm gonna replace this ring over here and this ring over here. I'm gonna clean. This is a screen filter. There are a few more screen filters over here on the bottom as well, and over here inside of this there are some more screen filters, and actually there is supposed to be screen filter on this nut over here. I'm gonna clean everything and I'm gonna assemble this back together. But yeah, guys, this is all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. I hope to see you in my next video. Hopefully till then I'm gonna be able to say that my car is working normally, but this is kind of a long shot, so yeah. Goodbye for now.